giving it up.
Gold just fell, bro. I didn't even realize gold went up to 24.48. This shit went from
bro. That was
this shit rallied 48 points and dumped 48 points in 15 minutes.
I told you.
Shit.
And he said gold don't give it up.
No, what I said was you be over exaggerating.
I was not over exaggerating.
You do be over exaggerating.
I said I was.
What did he say this morning, y'all? Man,
I said I was not.
Pumped. Yes,
it was pumping.
1 point, Justin.
No. See, again, I was saying relative to where it bounced off of demand, it was pumping. I was right.
Bro,
it's not even about being right. It was pumping. Relative. That's the key. Okay. The operative word there is relative.
What do you think when you use the word pump? There is no relative to it. That is an adjective that has one specific meaning. So you then can't connect it to something that's relative when you're using an adjective that's not relative.
Pumping to you could be different.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, we're done. Is
that not relative?
Nope. The minute you go into a conversation that's about facts and you start saying, well, to me, it's like this. Just because you think the door is open, I could also see the door is closed, but from the other side.
No. Because a pump is different for everybody. You can't a 10-point pump to somebody Justin. Might. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You can't
how long have you been trading, Justin?
You can't tell me that a 5-point rally. If you're like, damn, it's pumping. It pumped 5 points, but 5 points to me is 20K. That's a pump to somebody. It's all relative. It is all relative.
Okay.
Move my stop button. It's all relative.
I'm done with you. All relative. Yeah, go gave it all back, bro. That's a dump. When you see this right here on gold, this is a dump, right? And it's not relative. This is everybody can look at this and say this is a dump, right? Everybody can look at this side and say that's a pump. If that's the case, why even use the word? If you're going to say it's relative, why are you going to even use the word? Because what you just said was a 5-point move on ES is a pump to somebody.
It could.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's not a pump. When an instrument moves in 1% per day, 1% is like 30, 40 points on ES. So if it moves 5% of its average move on the day, that is not a pump. That's not relative. That's just a fact. You just try to switch the words up so you turn it into something that's relative. It's not fucking relative. If something's pumping, it's going up fast and far. It's not going up 5 points when on the day it rips, 40 to 60 points on the day. But to you like to be right, so you switch the argument up to be something different.
It's not about me being right or wrong. I truly believe that a pump is relative to the person, and Southside Crypto tends to agree with me. So I'm with Justin. I don't know.
I don't care. What the fuck? So because Southside Crypto agrees with you, that's the end of the argument. He agrees. No,
it's not the end of the. It's not the end of the argument.
I've argued with you, and the entire chat has agreed with me.
No, it's fine. I mean, they can agree with you if you want. I'm just saying a pump is relative to the person. Like you can't. To you, a 5-point pump might not be nothing, but to somebody else, a 5-point pump might be a lot. Like you can't.
But when you said it, Justin, see, and again, this is you changing the narrative of the conversation. When you said it, that ES was pumping, did you mean relative to you, or did you mean ES was moving fast and far? That's the question.
I said ES was pumping because it was up way more than what NQ was up, and it hadn't come back as far as NQ came back. So relative to NQ, ES was pumping. Yes.
Okay. Whatever you say. Male Gossip says Hobbs Justin is right. I disagree with all of you. I think that a pump is not relative to the person. If that's the case, if ES moves 1 point, you're gonna tell me. And I turn around and say, dude, ES just pumped. I hit you up on the phone. I call you. I say, Justin, ES just went crazy because it moved 1 point in 30 seconds. Is that a pump, Justin? Because it's relative to me? Or is that me over-exaggerating?
If you think it's a pump, then that's fine. If I don't think it's a pump, then I don't think it's a pump. If you say ES pump 1 point, I'll be like, damn.
What's the point of even using the word? All right, you know what? This is what I say this is what I mean when Justin goes and says something, he changes the narrative of what pump and dump means.
I'm not.
If something is pumping, you can't just say, okay, so if ES moves a half a tick, just because I said ES moves a half a tick, but it went there fast, is that still a pump?
It
based off your logic.
It could be if it's a pump to you.
All right, I'm done. I'm done with this conversation. We're done here. If it moves a half a tick, that's a pump. As long as you think it's a pump, that's all that matters. If that's the case, Justin, this is why I say you. When you
nobody
argue,
can define.
you go
into
what
a pump is.
This is the typical Justin move where you don't think something is factual when you know that there's facts to define it, right? You know that the word
put a number on a
in
pump.
trading, it's not a number. You know that there's not a factual number, but you know the word pump is definitely not used to define a half tick move.
But my point is that a pump
is it used to define a half a tick move?
You can't
Is
say
it used to define a half a tick move?
Okay, but imagine being an institution and having millions of dollars. A half a tick move to them could be a pump if they're making a ton of money off the tick.
Justin, institutions don't use the word pump or dump. They use the word buy or sell. That's it. My point
and
a half a tick move, even if you had millions of dollars on the line, you're not gonna put millions of dollars on the line for a half a tick move. If you put millions of dollars on the line, you know. And again, this is why I say you changed the narrative of the conversation. You know, because you've been a trader long enough, you know damn well ain't nobody putting $1 million on the line for a half a tick and then calling it a pump. So just stop with that bullshit. You know that's bullshit.
Again, a pump is relative because you can't define what a pump is. You can't. Right. Nobody can define what a pump is because a pump is different to everybody.
You can't define what it is, but you can define what it is not. Can you not?
Yeah,
you can't.
Yeah,
you mean to tell me you can't?
If you're dumping, then you're not pumping.
You mean to tell me
that is true?
You can't tell me right now that if somebody told you, I called you on the phone right now and said, "Hey Jay, I just killed ES for a half a tick. This shit pumped." You wouldn't giggle and say that's definitely not a pump, bro.
I would because that's
answer the question, Justin. I'm asking you the question.
That's not a pump to me. That again, relative. That's not a pump to me.
Who would describe a half a tick move on ES as a pump?
I don't know.
Is there anybody you know that would
might not be? Again, it's relative. Just because you said that's an insequential pump, that's a small pump. It's not really.
Now we're gonna change the word up, right?
You can't define a pump and you can't define a dump because a pump and a dump
then
is
why
you everybody.
So you said the word pump in trading doesn't have a definition?
No, I didn't say it doesn't have a definition. It definitely has a definition. But what I'm saying is that a pump and a dump is relative to the person. So what is a pump to you might not be a pump to me, and what's a pump to you isn't gonna be a pump to me. That's all it is. So if I said the market's pumping and you're like, oh, it's not pumping, I'm like, well,
this is what
it's relative.
I think to you, if something moves fast, really quickly to a destination, you define that as a pump. Regardless of how many points it moves, when you see something move really fast, really quickly to a destination, you define that as a pump. I don't. I define the movement of price, how far it went, as a potential pump. When you saw ES go really fast to its price, you said, oh shit, ES is pumping. And I said, Justin, it moved a point. Well, relative to NQ, it moved 5 points. I'm like, well, that's still not a pump. A pump was what we saw yesterday, Justin. There's a big difference between a 5-point move. You're
talking about open, and I'm talking about an entire pumping move. But again, a pump
is
about
5 points, and we talking about 5 points.
But a 5-point move on 10 minis is a lot of money, and to somebody that's.
Did I say anything about how are we talking about the money? We're we're literally just talking about the movement of price. That's what the adjective is defining. Not how much money you can make off that
pumping. It still is relative to the person. A pump is relative to the person. You could say
we're not talking about how much money you can make from the.
No, I know, but I'm still saying
how much money you can make from the move.
Okay,
I'm just
but still,
a
pump is
the
relative
movement of price.
Okay, and that's fine, but a pump is still relative to the person.
We're not saying, hey, a pump to you because you made $100,000 is a true pump.
That's
still
not
what I'm saying. I'm not defining. I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about the adjective that you're giving price is what the word pump and dump means. I know you know this, but I feel like you're playing dumb.
No,
So,
I'm not, because you cannot define what a pump is, because a pump is different to every person. One pump is not the same as another pump to somebody else.
Now we can't define the word. So now
No.
you haven't been trading long enough to understand the difference between a pump and dump.
You can define the word. What I'm saying is a pump is different for everybody.
You're tripping, bro.
How am I tripping?
Because you're saying that you can't define a word that you've been using since you've been in trading. You know damn well you may not have a solid open book definition of the word, but you know damn well the difference between a 5-point move and a 100-point move. Is that definable? Can we define the difference between 100 points and 5 points?
I'm not
Which
saying
one would
that.
be defined as a pump and which one would not be defined as a pump?
Either one could be a pump.
All
you
right.
moved up. Either one could be a pump. It depends on your perspective of what a pump actually is.
Justin,
that's what I'm saying, is that you're saying,
like, well,
100 points was a pump. Yes, it is a pump.
If that's the case, then the word pump should just not be said. If you're saying that the word pump can be defined as a half a tick and a 100-point move, I disagree with that. Because that's what you're saying by saying that. You're saying that
everybody's definition of what a pump is.
You may not think a half a tick move is a pump, but I think a half a tick move is a pump, so I'm gonna call it a pump. And I would say you're wrong. I would say you're incorrect.
I think that's perfectly fine, because everybody's definition of a pump is gonna be different.
Okay, would you or would you not say a half a tick move is not a pump?
For me, it's not a pump. For me, that's not.
Would you say a 5-point move is a pump? Is a pump?
It could potentially be.
No, you just answered me definitively about the half a tick. Now I'm asking you about a 5-point move.
Okay, to me, a 5-point move is not a pump.
Because oh my God, I cannot. All right, I'm done, guys.
I could say it's pumping.
I'm out of here. I'm out. I cannot. I
don't know what his problem is. Zabak, I'm with you. I think he's missing the point. You can't define what a pump is, because a pump is different to everybody. What's a 10-point pump to somebody doesn't mean anything. Like, a pump is relative. You can't define it.